What I'm about to do here is put a clear coat on this mild steel that's welded together as frames. These towers underneath them actually have already been clear coated 2 times, and the product that I really enjoy using is something called Penetrol by the company called Flood. And what it's really intended for is as a paint relaxer. And what it does is, like, when you use a brush and you're putting brush strokes out on steel or anything, if you're just painting anything, there's natural bumps that come off of the bristles because the bristles have different lifting points and release points, and it's a fluid at that point. It's really viscous. So what this does is you add a little bit of it to your paint, and then all those ripples, it just makes the paint a little bit more jelly, where it floats down into itself and then seams together. So that's how professional painters, it's actually a little trick professional painters use for hand brushing areas that they want to look like it's roller brushed, because roller brushing really makes it look like no brush stroke ever touched it, because it didn't. So I've already used some Penetrol and I have it put off to the side in a cup. It comes out of the container clear. I'm going to add a tiny bit more to it just so you can see what it looks like when it's getting poured out. It's got a golden color actually. It dries completely clear though. So if you have painting on steel or anything like that, like a painting or specific colors and everything, you can also use this as well. So the way I apply it is I take the brush and leave it with a pretty good soak, and then I just run across with the edge of my brush the entire distance of the piece of metal, because the Penetrol really does grab into the brush. And if you just dip, even if you dab it a little bit and everything, I mean, you'll already see a lake on there. It just really grabs well and everything, but then it runs on the side if you're not careful. So then, after that's done, with steel, and it has some rust on it, like right there, that's a good indicator. Sometimes you can brush over it and it won't go dark. It did, just because it was such a copious amount of Penetrol, but it might not run over here. I'll give you an example here. Okay, see, I ran over it and that's still light. If you want it to stop rusting and oxidizing, you need to actually make sure every single piece of rust goes dark. So that's Penetrol. It's a clear coat sealant for any kind of steel. I've seen pieces of steel, mild steel, that were left outside in the woods in the Olympic Peninsula in a really humid, moist environment that were over 8 years old, and they still look the same exact way. So that's Penetrol. That's what I use to protect my steel if I want the steel to look like it's never going to rust again, but I want it to keep the steel look. Oh, another tip as well, you don't want to pour this back into your Penetrol container. Use a rubber glove or something like that. It will definitely extend the life, because at certain points there's like a rust ratio or something in there that you'll just go to pour it out and it'll just be clumpy and no good. I left that webbing on there so you could see. It's some pretty gluey, tacky, sticky stuff. Definitely want to paint with it outside and everything as well. So thanks for watching.